What's up? It's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. It is about 10 o'clock on New Year's Eve. We just finished watching the finale of Stranger Things, and I figured to help keep myself awake until midnight, it would be the perfect time to film this video. I do apologize in advance if you hear any booms. There are fireworks going off occasionally. I've shut the doors, so hopefully that won't pick it up, but if there are weird noises in the background that I can't get rid of, that's what that is. So this is the first year that I wanted to keep track of everything that I crocheted because I thought it would be fun to film one of these videos. I'll jump right to it. I counted the other day. I crocheted 209 items in 2025, and that's a lot. So I'm gonna try to keep this relatively short. I'll show you what I can. I'll pop up any photos that I can. I have some of the stuff in here that I'll be able to like show you physically. Otherwise, I tried really hard to keep photos of everything, but I will also try to not babble too much about each of the items. So let's just jump right in. Back in January, I crocheted this black, white, and red cropped sweater. I got really into raglans this year. I kind of finally figured out how to make them, so this was one of the first projects that I did for the year. I love this sweater. It turned out really cool. I also crocheted this kind of white and gray marled beanie. This is out of the Premier puzzle yarn. I actually just gave this to a friend of mine for Christmas. She loved it, so that was awesome. I really love this beanie. I also got my own labels around this time for my It's Jen B like crochet brand. So I took a bunch of photos of this one because I wanted to like show off my new tags. I also crocheted this blanket for my grandpa. I realized when we visited last Christmas that I'd never gifted him one of my crochet items. He tells my family that he uses it constantly, and that is just like the coolest thing to me. So this was really fun. I love to make blankets, and I was really glad that he's getting use out of it. Bit of a slow start to the year, and then things ramped up pretty quickly, especially over the summer. So in February, I made a bunch of beanies. I was kind of having like a bit of a stressful start to the year and was just kind of stress crocheting through it. So I made this like really chunky brown beanie. I was experimenting with like double stranding a lot of stuff, so I ended up making 10 beanies total. I also finished, I had already started this previously, but I finished this amigurumi of Vivi, which is a character from Final Fantasy IX. Ooh, I really shouldn't have got, I'll double check that, but that's one I haven't played. I love Final Fantasy, I haven't played that one. This is my partner's favorite character. I know Final Fantasy IX is his favorite of the games, and I'm pretty sure that character is from this, and I had planned to make him that for Christmas, and it was really difficult and just took a while, so it took until February, and I finally got it done for him. I also made, I actually still have this because I haven't sewn it on yet. I have like a battle jacket, and I wanted to make a little granny square patch to put on there. I haven't sewn it on yet, and I made this in February, so that needs to be done soon. Let's see. I also made this raglan t-shirt. I told you raglans are going to be a theme this year. I love this t-shirt. This yarn is super beautiful. I also made, oh, I don't have it here with me, a Christmas beanie that I've been wearing this year. I think I wore it in a previous video. And I made this I happen to have on top out of the leftover yarn from that t-shirt. I made this scarf. It's got these little scalloped edges, and there's my label again. In March, I made this double-stranded balloon sleeve sweater, again playing with the double stranding, and I love a balloon sleeve. I also made this mesh hair bow. I figured out how to make myself a bonnet, just as an alternative to wear to a beanie, and I made this lace bandana. In April, I was starting to market prep, so some of these months where I had small markets, they're gonna be a lot. I made a scrunchie, I made a bandana, I wrote down I made 27 market prep items, 5 scrunchies, 3 bucket hats. I believe the one I'm most proud of, and I'm surprised it hasn't sold yet, is I made a fuzzy bucket hat with the Feels Like Bliss yarn. People love it, just nobody's bought it yet. 3 bandanas, 3 market bags, 4 garlands, they're like puff flower garlands, 2 trinket trays that were heart-shaped, a baby blanket, 5 of my, I call them marshmallow pets, they're like, I don't have any with me, but they're shaped like a marshmallow, and then I make like cats and bears and just little animals like that. I made a little baby cardigan and a rainbow scrunchie. In May, I made 2 skull cap beanies, a blue mesh like sweater vest. I finished a hoodie that I made for my mom that I had started previously. I finished my book dragon. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but I kept track of the books that I read in 2024. You assign a color per genre. People were making book snakes, I think, for a while, but I made mine into a dragon, so it's like a scarf with like a puppet tail and head on it. So I finished that. I made 3 more bucket hats, another rainbow scrunchie, a rainbow cat plushie. I made this green mesh muscle tank that I have a tutorial for. I finished making this little yellow cardigan. I made 2 coaster sets. I made 5 of, this is when I started to design a lot of plushies. So I made, do I have one handy? I'll grab this one. This is my octopus plush that I designed, so I made 5 of those. I finally made a hexagon cardigan. I love that thing. I made 4 rose keychains. I made 3 of my yarn chickens. They're a little bit delicate, so I'm not going to get that one down, but I'll show you the other birds in a second. It's the same body type. So I have their chickens, and they're meant to be like, if you're playing yarn chicken, they hold a little flag, and there's like shedding hair everywhere. Like one's green with a happy face and one's red with a sad face, and it's like whether you're winning or losing yarn chicken. And I made a crow. I'll grab one of my birds in a second and show you. Or here, oh no, I've got a photo. Okay. So I made a crow. Also, just to keep in mind why I could make so much during the summer, I'm a teacher, so I teach online during the summer, so, and that only goes for like half of it, so I had tons of free time. In June, I made 2 more of my birds. I made a disability pride flag. I designed this little bear. He's wearing a little disability pride sweater. I also made a disability pride bookmark. I designed my cardinal from the photos. I also decided to make this emotional support hammer. I don't even remember where that idea came from, but I really like it. It's very cute, and I put a bag full of BBs in the bottom to like give it a little bit of weight. I made this purple mesh top. I also made, if any of you are fans of Treasure Planet, I made Morph. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm sure he's very weird looking, but I made Morph. I made, oh, I put it away finally. I made this also during June, this blanket that's inspired by Studio Ghibli. I made this orange and pink tank top. I finally made a water bottle holder. I made a mesh sleeve to go over one of my canes. I made a video about that for July, because July is Disability Pride Month. And then I made 3 more of my green jay birds. Alright, we're halfway there. In July, I made the brown mesh top, like the green one for the tutorial. I made Oh, is that gonna work? I made that yarn hammock as another place to store my yarn. I have yet to decide if it needs to be bigger or not. We'll see after my next organization project. I made this, what I call a tattoo cardigan. This took forever. I don't remember when I started it, but this took months. And my mom actually helped me make the little blank squares when she came to visit over the summer. I love this thing, but I would never make it again. This took so long. I made 2 more of those little mini bears for market prep, one that was pink, one that was rainbow. I made this bunny plush by the Stitch Studio CA. I wish I had written down some of these other things. I don't make things from other people's patterns very often, but when I do, I try to make sure I wrote them down. So I'm gonna grab 2 of them: the bunny plush by the Stitch Studio CA and the hot dog plush by Crochet by Chelsea. This is the bunny. It's got a little tail. And this is the hot dog. I've been working on trying to write more of my own patterns, and so I wanted to purchase and just like see how other people write Ami patterns so that I can kind of just visualize those a little bit better. I have been writing more of my own patterns, but other than just like writing them down for myself, I haven't really gotten very far past that. Oh, I shouldn't have sat down. I designed this cinnamon roll plushie. It's got a cinnamon swirl on top. And I designed, it's like an ice cream cookie. I think it finally sold, and I don't know if I have a picture of it. I will see if I can find it. I redid a pair of shorts that I had made the year previously, so I redid some black shorts. I also designed, I'll have to post a photo because I think all of them sold, a different mini bear plushie that is a mini version of a bear that I designed years ago. I made this purple monster plush. Oh, I had to think about this for a second. I bought some furry yarn to try out, so I made this rabbit. I made this spiral cotton bag. I made a few regular chickens instead of just the yarn chicken, so I made a yellow one. I made this red monster plush. This is kind of based off my marshmallow pets that actually somebody from work bought. And then I made this teal scarf that I actually just gave away as a white elephant gift. Alright, then in August I made, I don't know where that went. Okay, well hopefully I can find a picture or take one once I found it, but again, I've been practicing a lot of tapestry crochet this year, and so I wanted to practice intarsia, and so I made this like dagger through a heart tapestry. It's based off the one that I did for the tattoo cardigan, but just on a bigger scale, and I wanted to do it in color. I made, where are they? Am I sitting on them? I designed like a bolero, like mesh sleeve sweater. I keep this in here so that I can just like throw it on when I get chilly. Another one, I made a set of pancakes. A little stack of pancakes. I also crocheted, I don't know why I keep saying that, this entire video is about that. If any of you are old enough to remember or ever played the PC games, like the putt-putt games, the little car. I made putt-putt, And then I followed a pattern to make Pep, so I'll have to find that. It was a free YouTube pattern that he sits in the car. But yeah, I was really proud of this. My sister and I used to play this game, and so when I showed it to her, she was like, can you make me one? So I made Putt Putt for me, and another one for my sister. We were PC kids growing up. I made this little plush sheep. I made some more chickens, 2 more of them, another crow. I made a jumbo crow because I had bought some wool ease yarn to try to make the crows, and it turned out being too big to like work that small, so I just up to my hook size and made a bigger one. I made this like brown and green patchwork scarf that I believe sold. I made another baby blanket, 2 more of my green jay birds. I made a rainbow version of the bird just for fun. I think it's the same as my crow, but it was just all rainbow colors. That sold. I designed a turkey, which I have during the like fall season, sitting up here. Made the second Putt Putt. Okay, September's a big one. This is when I did all my Halloween prep. So I made a gray mesh raglan sweater for myself. I just put out that tutorial this month on my second channel. I made an eyeball bag for Halloween, an eyeball keychain. I made a black and orange striped pumpkin, 2 crows. I made one of my marshmallow pets into a bat. I made a black of my little mini, I call them Buddy Bears. He's wearing like a Halloween orange and purple sweater. I made 5 more of the green jay birds. I made 2 of my marshmallow pets that are witch cats. I made 2 ghost plushies. 4 of these, like, I made the fall versions, but I designed this cupcake. When did I write that down? I forgot one. The total is 210. Okay. At some point over the summer, I also designed this cupcake. There is a pattern for that that I posted in October as well. Anyway, so I made fall versions of those cupcakes. I made a pair of mesh sleeves like that, but are black and white striped. I made a mini cauldron, 3 mini pumpkins, a marshmallow pet Frankenstein, 2 turkeys. Oh, I put it away because it's fall. I'll put up a photo. I designed a barn owl. I made a crochet collar. I did like a crochet and ambiance video that I put the pattern in there. So I will link that. And then I wanted to try making a waffle stitch beanie, so I did that. In October, I made a second collar and a hair ribbon. I made a birthday version of that cupcake, 1 more mini pumpkin, 1 more of my green jay birds. I had also designed at some point, trying to design my own soap saver. That didn't work out great, so I did like the 2.0 version of that. I made 10 birds. I think it was like turkey, or no, this was when I was prepping for the November market, so I was trying to get Christmas stuff in there too. So I designed snow owls and penguins for the holidays, and then I also did more turkeys and stuff too. Another snowy owl. I made this like vintagey looking jack-o'-lantern for like my own holiday Halloween decor. I made this little mini sweater that I was including in a Christmas gift. And then this like fuzzy scarf that both of those are featured in a video where I was on a little weekend work trip. In November, things have slowed down a little bit finally. I think I still have it in here. Yes, I do, because I need to block it. I made this necktie pattern by Suvi's Crochet. It was a free YouTube pattern. Like I said, it needs to be blocked, but pretty cool. I did every year for the last, this was the 3rd year. We do a charity event at my school where we crochet and knit like warm things that we send to an organization downtown that gives them away for free during the winter. So I made 8 items for that, hats, scarves, whatever. The gray mesh sweater that I made, I altered it a little bit at his request and made a version of that for my partner, so it was like a brown version. I made 2 more of my green jaybirds. I made a pink version of that gray sweater for the tutorial, but also for my mom for Christmas. She loved it, by the way. With the leftover yarn from my partner's sweater, I also made him a beanie, and then I made a yellow beanie as well. I thought that was going to be a gift, and then I ended up not, so it's just going to be sold. And then finally December, I did the velvet one shoulder top for my holiday occasion top tutorial. I made another baby blanket just cuz. I hope these sell because storing blankets is hard. I made this little Christmas bear. Oops, sorry. I made this little Christmas bear. She's a little Christmas lady. I'll put up a photo. I made this light bulb plushie for my dad for Christmas. I think it's kind of there. I designed this little plum pudding. I believe I put it away. Finally, it was sitting here for a long time. I made a back loop only slip stitch beanie. It took a very long time and was difficult, but I love it, and I'm actually doing another one for my partner. It's like easier as you get going. And it gets more fun, but it hurts my hands a little, so it's a very slow going process, but I love the way it turned out. I made 2 Christmas scrunchies. A couple of these things are featured in my previous videos. I made these. This was actually very exciting. This was the first. My partner's also an artist. We've been together for a very long time. We realized we'd never really actually collabed on artwork together, and so we took a couple of his drawings and made them into grids so that I could make crochet tapestries out of them, and that was what we gave out as gifts this year. So I made 6 of those. And then last but not least, I made this little axolotl plushie for my niece for Christmas this year. So let me double check. So that was 2 things that I actually didn't. I'll have to go back and check that. The numbers really don't matter, but between 209 and 211 things that I crocheted in 2025, that's an average of 17.4 items a month. Yeah, I crochet a lot. I crochet most days. I'm pretty fast at it, especially once it comes to designing plushies that you can work up really fast. I'm working on a really big tapestry project right now that's been really fun, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna crochet anymore tonight, but that's probably what I'm gonna be doing into the new year for the next week or so until I head back to work for the spring semester. I do, as always, have a list. When do I not have a list? Of projects that I'm trying to work on and kind of see what I can finish up before the new semester starts. I don't know if I'll crochet more or less next year. I do have some interesting goals. I'm supposed to find out within the next couple days if I got into this market in May that I really, really want to get into. It's like my first real market, if I can. So I'm really hoping to do that. But otherwise, I've talked about this a little bit, but I'm hoping to, I've dabbled some with putting my fiber arts into like my fine art work that I do, with like sculpture and painting and all that stuff. And I want to do more of that this year. So I have some projects, my short list of projects I want to finish up, and then I really want to get into doing some more sculpture work with fiber arts and stuff as well. So that is going to be interesting and fun to kind of dabble more into new things this year. So those are my plans for 2026. This was really fun. This was fun to kind of just like look back through everything, think about everything, see what I should have taken more photos of, although I tried to be really good and photograph everything, but we'll see what I have and what I don't. But I hope you're enjoying your new year. I hope you are crafting if that's what you like to do. I'd love to hear what you're working on or what your plans are for this next year in fiber arts or arts and crafts in general. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, feel free to subscribe. I post videos 2 times a month. I'm actually changing up my posting schedule, so if you're a regular viewer, I think I'm going to start doing 2 videos a month on the 10th and the 20th, just while I kind of get back on track with this main channel again. But yeah, please feel free to stick around. I'd love to have you. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you next time.